Motorola phones and more of Lenovo phones, but clearly that wasn't the case, because this year we've already seen almost 4 Motorola phones, then another one that is coming in the coming week. And this is the phone that Lenovo has finally launched in the Note series, the Lenovo K8 Note. We didn't see the K7 because Lenovo said that they weren't really happy with the phone, the prototype. So instead they decided to give it some more time and come out with a more refined version, and this is finally what they've come out with, the Lenovo K8 Note. Alright, let's talk about the design now. So this is what the phone looks like, and so yeah, nothing much to talk about the design except that it's good. It's a decent design. You got a metal body, it's Gionee body design, nicely curved. Definitely it's got thick bezels, is thick of course, and partly because of the battery that they've tried to cram into this design. It's a 4000 mAh battery, which is good, but then still a big phone. Sometimes it's good, sometimes, but looking at the trend, it's a time for slimmer phones. But I think it's a decent design. It gives you a nice grip. Will make sure that you can use it with one hand quite nicely. Otherwise, it's a 5.5-inch Full HD display. It looks bright. The blacks are not all that deep, but still the contrast ratio is good enough. The colors look nice. The viewing angles is also pretty good, so you should have no problems even when you're outdoor using your phone. And let's talk about the performance now. Powering this phone is a octa-core processor from MediaTek. So yeah, octa-core, lots of power, and there are 2 variants that are available. One is a 3GB variant with 32GB of memory, and there's a 4GB RAM variant with 64GB of memory. Price at $12,999 and $13,999 respectively. What we have is the high-end model over here, the 4GB RAM and 64GB of storage. Both these phones can be expanded to up to 128GB, and you have a separate microSD card slot for that, and there is a dual SIM card slot as well. So 3 slots, so not a hybrid slot, so that's good. You use your 2 SIMs and also crank up the memory. Now the overall performance with the Android Nougat, it's pretty good, and octa-core processor, you'll have no problem whatsoever doing your multitasking, open 7-8 apps, switch between them, and it's a seamless experience. Now the problem really comes in that after 15-20 minutes, especially while you're gaming, it tends to heat up. Now it's been a problem with MediaTek processors, some of them, and yes, this one also definitely heats up a bit. And if with prolonged usage, it's gonna heat more, and that is somewhat gonna make your performance not all that great. And especially with gaming, so prolonged usage, you would notice that the game is getting slower at times, some frame drops in some occasion, not all the time. But otherwise, a good performer, you'll have no problems whatsoever. And when I mentioned Android Nougat experience, that is good, but the best part is that Lenovo has finally decided to go stock Android, just like the Motorola phones. So definitely the stock Android experience looks neat and clean, and much more easier to operate as such. No bloatware also. That's also pretty good. The other USP of the phone is of course the dual camera setup that you see over here. One is a 13 megapixel primary camera, the second one is a 5 megapixel camera. So of course depth sensing, and the regular images that you click are pretty good. You get fair amount of details, colors also look nice. But I'm not particularly happy with the bokeh effect that you would get with the 2 cameras, because the edges at times don't seem to give you that sharp details, and sometimes you really have to struggle in getting that perfect bokeh effect, setting the aperture in 3 different modes and all that. The bokeh effect is a little let down, but otherwise decent amount. You get decent pictures. The front-facing camera also does a good job for your selfies. And just got a notification. The next thing is a 4000 mAh battery that you get with the phone. 4000, yeah, it's good. 1 day of usage is assured, but we were expecting a bit more, and it was a mixed result. Sometimes you go a few more hours into the next day, but overall for a day's usage, it's good enough. Now the phone, like I said, in this category, it's offering a pretty lot of things, and of course the Main competition was the Xiaomi Note 4 and the Coolpad Play 6. That's another phone that just hit the market, and it's pretty good, offers you 6 GB of RAM. So that phone is also going to be a tough competition in terms of performance. That one also gives you a bokeh effect. So we'll be comparing the results to let you know which one is better. We're not really a big fan of bokeh effect in this phone. So I think otherwise for the price, you're getting a good deal, good performance, camera is decent, and battery life is good. Stock Android experiences are pretty amazing, and this segment is gonna see a lot of phone. The competition is like, it's very hard to say which one is better than the other. Xiaomi phone, of course, overall looks good. This one is not a bad deal, let me tell you that. It's gonna be easily available. You can get your hands on this one quite easily, and I think it's a good deal.